Hey, how are you?
Hey, how are you? Hello. Yeah, all good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
It's been a
It's
bit of
been
a
a bit.
crazy morning for PFL, hasn't it?
Yeah, I seen that. Like a lot of posts about Nanganu.
What are your
So,
thoughts on that? I know he obviously he's not in your division, but it's big news for PFL. What were the first thoughts that came to your mind when you heard that?
so first thoughts is I thought it was obviously huge because just like more the way that what's actually happened around it. So the obviously it's been in the limelight quite a lot. It's been out there in social media wondering what he's gonna do. Um, for like the past few weeks, and I think one had offered a certain amount of money, and supposedly he refused it because there was other like things that he wasn't happy with. And then the same with the UFC. Obviously, they've offered him a certain amount, but what I think it shows is that one PFL were paying the fighters, but also like I remember Peter Murray, the CEO of PFL, like always saying that the PFL are going with like a fighters first kind of format, looking after the fighters. So yeah, I think it looks great for PFL. Also looks good to other fighters, in other organizations. That was definitely going to get them on board. Um, Yeah, because that's a few people decided to join PFL even when there's been a UFC contract up for grabs, like the other one being Shane Burgos. So yeah,
Yeah, it definitely makes PFL look enticing, and I guess that would probably could potentially bring over opponents for you that you might not have the chance to fight, otherwise. So I guess even though he's not in your division, it is potentially going to benefit you in some way.
yeah, that's it. Because it means that it's a big signing for PFL. It gets people on board. It gets the people that haven't watched PFL maybe start watching. I seen that he's the ambassador for PFL Africa, which shows that they're obviously looking to expand. And yeah, I mean they're doing the right things. PFL seem to just be, I think they're doing the right stuff. Getting out there and they're rivaling the UFC. And if it keeps going, then they could end up taking over.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously with that news, it kind of puts a better light on the bad news that happened last week with all of those fighters that tested positive or potentially tested positive. What were your
Yeah.
thoughts when you heard that, and how do you as a fighter move forward knowing so many of the fighters tested positive?
So a few things. I mean, the first thought I thought fucking hopefully Natan test positive. I was hoping he was going to be one of the positives because maybe it meant I would get my win bonus and I'd maybe get some points and whatever else. But I mean, I took a few things from it. One being that obviously PFL are testing, and the testing is obviously good enough where a lot of people have been caught. Because I think, to be honest, I think the main reason a lot of people has been caught is one, like someone else has mentioned before, the whole roster fights within 3 weeks. But not only that, it's probably also because most people that's came over to PFL believed that we didn't, it's not as strict as USADA. And they're probably thinking, you can take PEDs and get away with it. And maybe they're even thinking, maybe even if they were wondering whether to take PEDs, they probably think their opponent's taking them. So to make it a level playing field, I suppose. But um, yeah, I mean, I'm glad a lot of people got caught. I've always been a clean athlete, never took any PEDs in my entire life. Obviously, I had 11 fights in the UFC, done all the USADA tests, and tests for PFL as well. So it benefits the people that didn't just, obviously, because you know, it is unfair. It's, you know, anybody that's juicing is, it's like racing someone that's driving a much faster car. It's just an unfair advantage. So yeah, I'm glad a lot of people got caught. It then makes people that think about doing it in the future will be more hesitant to doing it, because of that. And yeah, it just means that it's more a level playing field.
Yeah, you mentioned that you've already been through the USADA process. They did mention, I think, at one point that they were getting that ready for USADA to take over for PFL. I know that's going to take some time to set up, but I know there's been some complaints by some fighters that USADA kind of oversteps a little bit. Sometimes shows up at times where it's inappropriate or stands around for hours and hours. What are your thoughts? Are you happy to know that USADA might be coming and you may have to go through that all again?
Yeah, to be honest, I never even knew USADA was coming, but I'm glad they are, because I do I do think there's still PFL fighters that are juicing that haven't been caught. Because I'm not that educated and obviously all that, like how you can get away with it, and but I do know that there's a reason USADA do the random testing, and it's because a lot of fighters know how to cycle it and how to not test positive, basically, because they know they're only getting tested on the fight. Um, there's ways around it to like do it and not get caught. Whereas with USADA, they're random, so it's very, very like. I mean, there's maybe some ways still. Maybe you could pay the person that's testing you or something. I'm not clued up in it all, but um, I would say it's very, very hard to be cheating in the UFC and not getting caught, because of the random USADA. They can turn up at any time. Um, yeah, and like I said, the only way I thought that people can cheat and get away with it is if you're rich and you're paying the person testing you. But but yeah, I mean it's good. It's good for the clean athletes. Because like I said, when you're fighting somebody that's putting hormones into their body, it's just cheating. It's like, you know, sometimes like even there, sometimes the fighter, so the fighter that got caught in PEDs, two of them actually still lost the fight. So it just shows you it doesn't mean they're going to win, but the way I thought about it, it would be like me racing Lewis Hamilton. But I get to, if I'm the better fighter, I mean, so I'm the better fighter. I'm racing Lewis Hamilton in a race. I've got a much faster car than him. And yeah, what I mean is like it does definitely help. There's a good chance he might still beat me because of his skills, but I'm driving a much faster car, so there's a good chance that I'm still going to beat him. Um, and yeah, I mean, if you're cheating, then yeah, fuck you, because you know, it's I don't mind people taking steroids if they're no fighting and if they're just doing it to look good. Do it all you want, but when you're punching somebody in the brain, and you're putting hormones into your body and cheating, yeah, it's no fair. So
Absolutely.
yeah, a wee rant on that.
So looking forward to your fight, what sort of fight are you expecting from Clay?
um, so he's sorry, I'll just make sure my phone's charging. Yeah, because if not, I'm gonna put this window down now. No, because it's pretty hot today and I'm absolutely cooking. But yeah, he's got good boxing. He's striker. He likes exciting fights, so I'm hoping for an exciting fight. Um, you know, against Nathan, although it's part of the sport, you know, it was. I'm sure it wasn't the most exciting fight, even for people that like watching him fight. He took me down. Although it was obviously on my part as well, I didn't try and get up too much. But yeah, he just lied on me, and it was a bit boring, frustrating. I prefer a fight where somebody's going to try and come and knock me out. And just an exciting fight for the fans, and I think that's what Clay will try and do. I'm in the same position as I was last year. I lost the first fight. Probably need a finish or a big win to qualify. So that's what I'll be going out to try and do.
He seemed I don't know if offended is the right word, but he was kind of shocked that you would call him out. He thinks that you're trying to clout chase and that you won't actually want to stand and fight with him. I'm wondering if you could respond to that.
I'm trying to clout chase. I just fought Anthony Pettis twice and beat him. Like, no offense to Clay, but fucking majority of the world doesn't know who he is. Although the PFL people do. So for him to say I'm clout chasing, it's just fucking stupid. I've fought much bigger names than him. Michael Johnson, Joe Lozon, fucking Anthony Pettis. Like, you know, look at my record. I've fought much bigger names than him. And I'm not saying he's not tough. He's a tough fighter, but for him to say I'm clout chasing is just fucking stupidity. That being said, like, I'm gonna go in there and go watch my fights. Like, I'm gonna go in there and try and knock him the fuck out, but I'll also try and take him down and submit him as well. I'm not gonna fake and act like I'm just gonna sit and have a boxing match with him. He's got good boxing. It's an MMA fight. I'm gonna go in there and try and finish him any way possible. If that means taking him down and choking him, putting him to sleep, then that's what I'll be looking to do. I have watched his fights. He does look tough. He's got heart. So he's not a quitter, I would say. But he has been stopped. I even watched just a couple of his boxing fights. I seen him getting stopped off a southpaw boxer. He got dropped to the body. But he showed some toughness in that fight as well, where, like, a lot of fighters would have took a way out. He kept fighting and then eventually he got stopped with a body shot. But yeah, he obviously just doesn't know who I am. I'll fucking fight any man, anywhere, and he's not the scariest or most skilled fighter out there. So yeah, it's maybe just he doesn't really know who I am, and the type of mentality that I've got. But that being said, I respect him. I know he is a good fighter, but I'm coming to obviously get the win.
I guess the last question for me, who do you see kind of being in the next round with you? I'm assuming, you picture who you'd like to fight next, or maybe the next round of contenders. Who do you see?
Well, I've looked at obviously the standings, and I had to do this last year as well. I remember thinking, like, I need him to win, and I need him. Ideally, he wins. It doesn't matter if he gets a finish, because obviously you're hoping for all decisions for the other fighters, and then me to get a finish. But it doesn't matter if the people that are already above me get a finish in this sense, because, like, for example, if Olivia, I think is going to go through anyway. He's fighting. I know he's fighting. I believe he's going to win. So whether he wins by decision or a stoppage, I think he's going to go through anyway. And then the Brazilian guy looked pretty good. He's fighting Martinez. And yeah, that's another. The fights have been announced, haven't they? I'm not like pure telling everybody.
Yeah, they have. Although I think one of them you just mentioned isn't, but I don't have the cards in front of me, but
Right. So I'm not going to get in trouble, but
no, you're
like,
you're right. Yeah, no, they're all released. They're all out.
right. Yeah, so I've looked, and yeah, I think it's worked out good, because I think I could even qualify if I beat Clay by decision. So even if I won by decision and the other fights go the way I think they're going to go, it means that basically there'd be a few people with 3 points, and I think I would go through over Clay because I've just beat him. The only other thing is I kind of need Natan to beat Manfield, because if Manfield beats Natan, and then it's like a case of me and Natan's both got 3 points, then obviously he would get picked over me because he beat me. So yeah, I mean, I'm hoping Natan wins. I'm obviously hoping to get a finish. I'm gonna go in there and ideally get a finish, do what I done last year. It's like a year anniversary in the same place, the same arena, where I need the same I need a finish. So it's pretty cool. Hopefully some deja vu.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I'm feeling positive. I think Clay's he is a tough fighter, but there's certain styles that work well for me. And I feel like I do better against strikers. Hence why, I beat Anthony Pettis twice, one of the, really good striker. Also, we've kind of both beat and lost to the same guys. Martinez beat both us, close decisions. And we both beat Pettis. So it's an interesting one, I think, for the fans as well. But yeah, I'm glad you told me that Clay was surprised I've called him out, because that's just given me some motivation. Like, fucking, what does he think I'm fucking? Does he? He must think he's levels above me or something. But yeah,
Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it and look forward to watching the fight.
no worries. Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.